When we think about how the body gets oxygen and removes carbon dioxide, it helps to see the lungs as the place where gases move between the air and the blood as the system that carries these gases to and from all the tissues. And the brain and chemical sensors keep adjusting the breathing rate that match the body's needs so everything stays in balance even when activity changes. Gas exchange happens mainly in the alveoli, which are tiny air sacs with very thin walls, and these walls sit right next to capillaries, so oxygen and carbon dioxide can move easily across. And oxygen moves from the air inside the alveoli into the blood because the concentration is higher in the air, while carbon dioxide moves from the blood into the alveoli because its concentration is higher in the blood, and this exchange happens continuously with each breath. Gases move by diffusion, and diffusion depends on differences in partial pressures, which is simply the individual pressure of each gas in a mixture. And when the partial pressure of oxygen is higher in the alveoli than in the blood, oxygen moves into the blood. And when the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is higher in the blood than the alveoli, carbon dioxide comes out, moves out, and these gradients keep oxygen entering the body and carbon dioxide leaving the body without needing energy. Most of the oxygen in the blood does not float around freely because the amount dissolved in plasma is very small. So almost all the oxygen binds to hemoglobin inside red blood cells, and hemoglobin can carry 4 oxygen molecules at a time, and it loads oxygen in the lungs where the oxygen level is high and releases it in the tissues where the oxygen level is lower. And this switching makes hemoglobin a very efficient transporter. Hemoglobin does not release oxygen randomly because it lets go of oxygen more easily in tissues that are warmer, more acidic, or have more carbon dioxide. And these conditions tell the body that the tissues are working harder, so they need more oxygen. And this adjustment helps match oxygen delivery to the actual needs of the cells. Carbon dioxide travels in the blood in three main forms. A small amount dissolves in the plasma, some binds to hemoglobin, and most of it becomes bicarbonate ions. And red blood cells use an enzyme that quickly converts carbon dioxide into bicarbonate, which makes it easier to carry large amount of carbon dioxide from the tissues to the lungs. And when the blood reaches the lungs, the bicarbonate changes back into carbon dioxide so it can be breathed out. The bicarbonate system is useful not only for carrying carbon dioxide but also for helping control the pH of the body, because the balance between carbon dioxide, bicarbonate, and hydrogen ions affect how acidic the blood becomes. And the respiratory system works closely with this system because breathing faster removes more carbon dioxide and raises the pH, while breathing slower keeps more carbon dioxide and lowers the pH. And this close relationship keeps the internal environment stable. Breathing is controlled mainly by centers in the medulla and pons, which send rhythmic signals to the muscles of breathing. And these centers can speed up breathing, slow it down, or adjust the depth of each breath depending on what the body needs. And most of the time, this control happens automatically without us thinking about it. Chemoreceptors in the body sense changes in carbon dioxide, oxygen, and pH, and they send signals to the brainstem when these levels move away from their normal range. And the strongest driver of breathing is usually carbon dioxide because even small increases make the brainstem increase the breathing rate to remove excess carbon dioxide. The oxygen becomes a stronger driver only when its level drops significantly. The respiratory system constantly adjusts to match the body's energy demands. So, when activity increases, breathing becomes faster and deeper to bring in more oxygen and remove more carbon dioxide. And when the body is resting, breathing becomes slower and lighter because the demand is lower. And this automatic adjustment keeps the body supplied with oxygen while preventing carbon dioxide from building up.